U.S. Central Command map sparks controversy. U.S. Central Command released a map of the Middle East overnight showing the West Bank and Gaza as part of Israel, sparking major controversy. Iranian parliament's response to Donald Trump following U.S. President Donald J. Trump's statement that I will soon declare the Strait of Hormuz as U.S. territory. The Iranian parliament convened to respond. Iran urged, instead of worrying about the Strait of Hormuz, Trump should worry about his own safety. A senior Iranian official also mocked, a leader who fled Turkey in a catering truck would do better not to worry about the Strait of Hormuz, but about his own safety. The Mecca Joint Defense Agreement and calls of concern following the Joint Defense Agreement signed last week in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Among Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Turkey, several Muslim countries have now submitted requests to join. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan stated that Egypt might join this bloc, and expressed that many other countries wish to join and the door remains open, which has deeply angered Israel. Furthermore, the Turkish president stated, "We will not leave Gaza alone." Detailed News 1. The CENTCOM map controversy. The map released overnight by the US government has gotten many people around the world talking. The U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, distributed a new map of the Middle East overnight, in which Palestinian territory was completely erased and replaced with Israel. Although CENTCOM released the map showing U.S. Central Command Chief Admiral Brad Cooper's visit to the Middle East, a major controversy erupted because this map depicted the Gaza Strip and the West Bank as Israeli territory. In a statement released by CENTCOM, it said Admiral Brad Cooper met with senior civil and military leaders in Bahrain, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, and spent time with U.S. military personnel deployed on various missions. Indicating that more than 50,000 U.S. military personnel are currently serving across the Middle East, the map explicitly listed the West Bank and Gaza Strip entirely as Israel's. 2. Attack on a UAE ship. The United Arab Emirates suffered a heavy attack on its vessel. According to the UAE Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a commercial vessel owned by the UAE State Oil Company, ADNOC, came under a heavy attack overnight while passing through the Strait of Hormuz. In a statement released by the Abu Dhabi government, it directly blamed Iran for the attack, calling it a blatant violation of international law. It is not yet known what injuries or damage was sustained by the crew members aboard the ship. The UAE Ministry of Foreign Affairs strongly accused Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps of committing acts of maritime piracy by using the strait as a tool of economic coercion and black market intimidation, warning that targeting commercial ships poses a direct and high threat to the region. This attack marks the third recorded incident on UAE ships within the last 48 hours, following similar attacks on Thursday while attempting to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, UKMTO, confirmed that an unidentified projectile struck the body of a cargo ship in the waterway. Although Iran has not officially claimed responsibility, it previously announced it would attack ships passing through this strategic route without its permission. Anwar Gargish, diplomatic advisor to the UAE, stated, "We will uphold our right to freedom of navigation and our right to use the Strait of Hormuz in accordance with international law. As the nation of UAE, we stand strong. We will never surrender to Iran. We will defend our sovereignty and interests." 3. Iran's response to Trump regarding U.S. President Donald J. Trump's statement that I will soon declare the Strait of Hormuz as part of the U.S. America will take control of the Strait of Hormuz and hold it as its legitimate land. The Iranian parliament delivered a strong response. The chairman of the National Security and Foreign Policy Committee of the Iranian parliament stated, instead of saying such things, he should stop and worry about his own personal safety. What should concern Trump right now is not the Strait of Hormuz, but his own day-to-day survival and security. He mockingly recalled reports that Trump had hidden inside a food catering vehicle to swap planes in order to escape an Iranian assassination attempt after leaving a NATO meeting in Ankara, Turkey. This response came after Trump claimed the U.S. Navy is enforcing a full blockade over the Strait of Hormuz and promised to declare it U.S. territory once Iran is defeated. Rejecting Trump's statement, Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Qasem Gharibabadi stated, "The strait cannot be seized by a Twitter message, an aircraft carrier executive order, or campaign rally speeches. Iran does not fear threats at all, nor is it intimidated by displays of force." Meanwhile, a White House official told U.S. media outlets that Trump's comment about making the strait U.S. territory was meant as a joke. 4. The Mecca Defense Agreement and Erdogan's remarks. The military agreement signed in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, among Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and nuclear-armed Pakistan is set to expand its scope, causing deep concern in Israel. Reports indicate that Egypt might join the Mecca Joint Defense Agreement and that several Muslim nations have requested to join this alliance. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan confirmed during an interview on Al Jazeera's Al Makabila that Cairo's potential membership is hopeful and that the agreement remains open to other new Muslim member states. The agreement signed by Erdogan, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif mandates that if an attack is launched against any of the signatory countries, the remaining members will act together in solidarity. Analysts noted that this provision is similar to Article 5 of NATO, although officials in Islamabad rejected characterizations of the agreement as a NATO equivalent. During the interview, Erdogan also touched upon several regional issues. Reopening the Strait of Hormuz is Turkey's primary priority, noting that keeping it closed serves no one's interest. Turkey will do everything in its power to bring stability to Syria and ensure Syrian Kurds get their share of peace. Erdogan firmly stated that Turkey will never leave Gaza alone and expressed grave concern over ongoing Israeli attacks in Lebanon. Erdogan stated that EU membership is no longer a priority for Ankara. He also mentioned that President Trump promised Turkey would return to the F-35 fighter jet program and that CAATSA sanctions would be lifted, though such a sale is expected to face strong opposition in the US Congress.